Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So in this video, we will talk about different feedback models and what is the difference between feedback versus feed forward. In the last video, we talked about in general about the feedback, what are the different frequently seen issues while giving the feedback and how to give effective feedback. Some tips we have given. And this video, we will focus on the feedback models. So, there are so many models available, and many organizations use these different models, based on their convenience, and of course, these are all tested, and tried and proven models. But still, there are certain differences between, different models here. So, first one is, many organizations use this SBI model, which is nothing but the situation, behavior, and impact. Means you inform the what happened, and then how the person behaved in that particular situation, and what was the impact, right? And the second one is STAR model. Again, we discuss about situation, and then what was the task that person is doing, and what action he took, and because of his action or behavior or deliverables, what was the result, right? That is the STAR model. And then the other model, some organizations use called sandwich model. Basically, in the sandwich model, what managers typically do is they first talk about what went well, and then they tell what went wrong, and then again they tell what went well. So basically, they insert the main message what went wrong between two positive things. So first they tell about positive, and then they tell about the negative, and then they tell about the positive. So they sandwich the negative feedback in between two positive things. That is called sandwich model, right? And there are some other models which is like CDOR. CDOR is basically they talk about the context, in which context they are telling this feedback, and then they give example also, and then they will diagnose, like basically why this happened, what was the root cause, and then they will also talk about the action. Okay, going forward, what action need to be taken and when it can be reviewed. So it is called CDAR: context, example, diagnosis, action, and review. The other model is called IDEA. It's basically again they identify the problem. Okay, what was the problematic behavior, or what is the problematic action, and they describe in terms of like, okay, what happened, why it happened, kind of thing, and they encourage the receiver of the feedback to expand, and probably they ask the receiver of the feedback to tell how it can be improved, and then what is the action plan, right? And then the third one is about the DESC, that is basically describe. So they describe the problem or describe the problematic behavior, and then they express, what happened, why happened. Again, give specific examples, and then what are the consequences, and then how it can be improved. So these are two sets of feedback models. And if you look at that SBI, STAR, and sandwich, these are called feedback models, because here, if you observe, they only talk about what went wrong, what was the issue, and what was the impact. What went wrong, what was the root cause, what was the impact. Whereas on the other side of the models like CDAR, IDEA, and DISC, they're called feed forward. Here, what they do is, in addition to tell what went wrong, in addition to understanding what is the root cause and what is the impact, they also focus on how that can be improved, how the situation can be improved, and then what is the action plan, right? So that way it is called feed forward. Okay, so in general, earlier most of the organizations are using feedback models, but now again a lot of organizations are moving towards feed forward, because this is more helpful for the receiver of the feedback. So it helps employees. The feed forward model helps the employees to understand their current behaviors and impact, as well as how to move forward with the new behaviors. So this will help them to correct it and then move forward into the future. So that is why feed forward models are much better than the feedback models, right? So we will look at the difference between feedback versus feed-forward model. In the feedback model, typically we focus on the past, like what happened, right? Why it had happened. Whereas in the feed-forward model, okay, whatever has happened has happened. Now, how do we move forward? So we will focus on the future. And then in the feedback model, predominantly it is pointing out the problems. But in feed-forward model, we will give suggestions for improvement. Also, we will ask the receiver to come up with the suggestions for improvement. Right? It is not only like one way. Right? We will ask receiver of the feedback to expand his thoughts or ideas on how we can improve the situation. And then in the feedback model, people may feel judged because it is mostly on directly attacking the person, saying that, and then asking investigative kind of questions like what happened, why it happened, kind of thing. But in the feed forward model, it is more on the focus on the task and not the person. Okay, presentation didn't go well, understand, right? But how can we improve that, right? So that is the focus, because it is no more investigation kind of thing. And then feedback is mostly one way. Usually manager gives to the team members, and then the feed forward is two-way participation, because here we are asking the receiver to tell us how the situation can be improved. No, the manager also can give suggestions. At the same time, the manager also asks the team member to come up with some kind of suggestions and action plan on how that can be improved. And then in the feedback model, it doesn't always focus on action. Means it is more on what happened in the past, right? It doesn't talk about how do we move forward. Whereas that is the biggest advantage of the feed forward. Here we focus more on the future action plan. How can we improve in future, right? And typically feedback, it is a hierarchical kind of thing, whereas top down manager gives to the team member. Whereas in the feed forward model, it can be applied for the lateral feedback, horizontal, vertical feedback, horizontal feedback, downwards, upwards. Means you can get the feedback from our feed forward from any stakeholder, and that also including 360-degree feedback, which we discussed in the earlier videos. So feed forward is not just limited to just one way. It can be taken for with any stakeholder. It can be your manager, it can be your team member, it can be your cross-functional, it can be your customer, anybody, right? Your peer. So the fundamental of feed forward is basically, the concept is past cannot be changed because already something happened. We cannot change that. But we have more control on future. So how do we move forward? So that is the aspect which we are focusing. We are emphasizing on how do we move forward with different behavior to get good results. That is the objective of the feed forward model, right? So in the next video, we will talk about very simple feed forward model, which will really help you to give the feedback or feed forward in a very effective manner. Okay, so please stay tuned for more. My name is Vijay Kumar Pita, and in case if you have any questions or if you need any information, please feel free to contact me. My coordinates are there. And if you enjoy this video, please like it, and please share it with your friends, family, and colleagues so that they can get benefit out of it. And then please subscribe to my channel so that we can get latest updates, right? And thank you so much. See you in the next video. Until then, please take care. Bye-bye.